Namaskar. Welcome back for another session of Wisdom Tales on Vedika Online. Today we will discuss the importance of having the right heroes in our lives. All of us have heroes. Uh, we like politicians, we like sportsmen, we like actors, we like different thinkers, intellectual scientists, researchers, all of them. All have heroes in life. It is important to have the right people as our heroes. So, one hero who's inspired thousands of peoples all around the world is a warrior king from the state of Maharashtra in India. His name was Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So Shivaji Maharaj was an extraordinary ruler of his time, an efficient administrator, excellent organizer, benevolent, kind, and gentle to his subjects, bold and daring, brave soldier, skillful diplomat, uh, absolutely spotless character, and so many other things that inspires many people even now. So how is it that Shivaji Maharaj could have so many qualities, a multifaceted personality? How did he have so many qualities? The secret to this personality's qualities is his childhood. When Shivaji Maharaj was a small child, his mother would spend hours and hours telling him stories from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. These stories had a deep impact on his life. These stories built the foundational principles of his life, and later on, he became the greatest ruler of that time. So, these stories that we hear from the Mahabharata or Ramayana, these are not just stories, they have deep lessons that we can learn. So, Mahabharata is a life of the Pandavas. The Pandavas went through so many struggles, miserable conditions, relatives and friends ditching them, brothers were trying to kill them. It was a tough time, but they went through all of them, came out successful. These stories help us in our times of crisis. And where did they gain the strength and qualities from? They gained it from the Ramayana. They gained it from the stories of the kings, the previous kings who led their lives by these principles. So the Pandavas would also hear stories from the Ramayana, and they would love to hear how Lord Ramchandra ruled the kingdom. And Yudhishthira Maharaj, later on when he became the king, he said that he brought Ramrajya back at that time. So Yudhishthir and the Pandavas, they would hear these stories. Now the most powerful Pandava, the great Bhima, he was very much fascinated by one personality in the Ramayana. It was Hanuman. He loved Hanuman because Hanuman was very powerful, just like Bhima. He was very intelligent, sharp. He would do amazing things for his master, Lord Ramchandra. He was a great artist, a doctor, and an effective communicator. In fact, Lord Ram spotted this right at the first meeting and told Lakshmana, this guy is an excellent communicator. He has such refined, fine speech. So many things to Hanuman's personality. But one thing that stood out for Bhima was that Hanuman was the son of the wind god, and therefore he was related to Hanuman as a brother. So Bhima would love to hear Ramayana and specifically about Hanuman. Hanuman was Bhima's hero, and the Pandavas were Shivaji Maharaj's heroes. We should have right heroes in our lives. So one day, when the Pandavas were in exile, they were traveling through the forests, on the mountains. So one day, while traveling, they reached the place called as Badrika Ashrama. Badrika Ashrama is a place, the abode of Naranarayan Rishi. So when they reached this place, the sages there were very happy to receive them. So they received them nicely, and the Pandavas stayed there for some time. It was an amazing place. Dense forest, beautiful forest all around. And there were lakes filled with lotuses and lilies. There was birds, flora, fauna, the different animals there. And the beautiful Ganga, the cool, crystal clear Ganga flowing by. It made the whole atmosphere very, very enchanting. One day, while they were sitting there, from the northeast, a wind blew, and with the wind came one beautiful, amazing, extraordinary flower. And this flower floated in the air and landed at the place where Draupadi was seated. Draupadi picked up this flower. This flower had 1,000 petals. It was a lotus flower, 1,000 petaled lotus flower. It was absolutely beautiful. The texture, the design, the shape, and the fragrance was divine. Draupadi immediately said to Bhima, I will present this to Maharaj Yudhishthir. Look at Draupadi. When we get something very, very unique, we want to keep it to ourselves. The first thought that came to Draupadi was, let me give this to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And then in the passing she said, if I had more flowers like this, I would decorate the cottage in Kamyaka. Bhima heard this, and while Draupadi left with the flower to present it to Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhima set out to get more flowers, the 1,000 petal flowers for Draupadi, so that she can take it back to Kamyaka. Now Bhima was a very towering personality, so he started ascending into the mountains, in the dense jungles to find this flower. On his way, he started, clearing up the bushes and trees, hitting them down, and he was very powerful, very, very powerful. And when he went deeper and deeper into the forest, there were wild animals. So, he started roaring. And then he started roaring. The elephants and the lions, they started running away in fear. Bhima was a very powerful personality. In fact, Bhima was so powerful that very few warriors would stand and dare to challenge him in a fight. Bhima was the person who killed all the 100 Kauravas. Bhima was the person who finished off 6 of the 11 Akshoini Sena that Kauravas had in the battle of Mahabharata. So Bhima was in fact the person who defeated Karna several times in the battle. But he left him without killing him because he wanted Arjuna to do it. Bhima was a very powerful warrior. Bhima, when he was just born, he slipped out of the hands of Kunti Maharani and he fell on a rock. And you know what happened? The rock broke to pieces. So Bhima was very powerful. It is said that he had the power of 10,000 elephants. So when Bhima was going around to find this flower, he was just ripping apart trees and making way for himself as he went deeper and deeper into the dense forest. At one point, he saw there was a narrow pathway. He started moving in that direction. After some time, he saw there was some monkey lying on the path. He looked at it and thought, oh, there's a monkey lying on the path. So he shouted out to the monkey and said, hey monkey, oh monkey, please get away from my path. So this monkey, he just half opened his eyes and said, oh, who's there? I am an old monkey. I want to lie down peacefully. Who's disturbing? Why are you doing this? Why are you disturbing everyone? Why are you creating so much of chaos? You look like a refined human being. You should be considerate. You should not be doing this. Just go back and leave me alone. Let me lie down in peace. Bhima was not happy with what he heard. He said, oh monkey, you please move away from my path or I will punish you. Be ready to face the consequences. The monkey said, I am too old to move. Why don't you just move my tail away and then walk if you want to go ahead? Bhima went ahead and with his mace club he started, you know, uh, taking the tail away from the path. But he saw that he was not able to move the tail of the monkey. Then he used his left hand to pick up the tail and move it away. It did not happen. He used both his hands and he started moving the monkey's tail. Now, even if it was a very powerful, huge monkey, the tail is something that is not so powerful part of the monkey. So, when Bhima could not move with all his strength, with all his power, he could not move the tail of the monkey. Suddenly, the realization dawned upon him that this is not an ordinary monkey. He went and approached the monkey in complete humility, having been humiliated, and asked the monkey, "Who are you? You definitely are not a simple monkey." This time, the monkey, he revealed, he said, "I am Hanuman, the servant of Lord Ramchandra." Bhima was overjoyed. He was so happy to have met his hero, the hero that he has been hearing about all his life, the hero he has been eagerly waiting to meet someday in his life. He met his hero. He went to Hanuman and he offered his obeisances and said, "Oh my brother, I'm so happy to see you." And then Hanuman, he told him stories from the Ramayana. And Bhima was so overjoyed to hear these stories directly from Hanuman. And after they had exchanged pleasantries, Hanuman asked him, "What do you want from me?" So he said, "I'm so happy, but I would like to ask you for one small thing. I want to see that gigantic form that you took when you wanted to leap towards Lanka." So Hanuman actually showed him this at form. Hanuman started expanding, and Bhima saw this huge, monstrous form of Hanuman, effulgent so much that he couldn't just keep his eyes open. He had to shut his eyes and plead with Hanuman and say, "Hanuman, please come back to your normal form." And when Hanuman came back to his normal form, he was just pouring tears and so happy to know that Hanuman, his brother, the one who was actually instrumental in Lord Rama's victory, is standing right before him. And then Hanuman showed him the path to where he can find this beautiful flower, the Saugandhika flower. And of course, Bhima goes ahead and gets those flowers. But the lesson is, when you meet somebody as powerful or even better than us, how do we respond? How do we react? The first thing that comes to mind is, "Oh, let me put him down." That's what Bhima did. He showed his aggression. He went and tried to shove the monkey away. But slowly he understood that this person is as good as me or even better. Then what comes in is fear. Now, after fear, you can either be jealous and demotivated, or you can be humble and get benefited from that association or exchange. Bhima preferred to become humble and then approach Hanuman in a very submissive way. In return, Hanuman gave him all his blessings. In fact, Hanuman also promised him that during the Mahabharata war, he would participate in the war on the flag of Arjuna, and he would roar so loudly that he would strike fear in the hearts of the Kaurava army. So Bhima was overjoyed to get this blessing. So the point is that these stories have deep meanings, and we must be able to gather those meanings and apply it in our lives. We would be very happy to receive comments, questions, and feedback on these videos that we are producing in the comment section below. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. I hope you've liked this video. See you again for another episode of Wisdom Tales on Vedika Online. Thank you very much.